Welcome back everyone to the Palmerston Indoor Sports Arena in Palmerston North 2019 Trans-Tasman Series. Thanks for the comments of Paul Watson and Brianna Binch covering the last Open Women's match in Australia. Definitive winners 98-56, and they've taken the series deservedly 3-2. The under 22 boys, Australia took it out 3-2, and the under 22 girls 4-1. We're ready, just about ready for the Open men's finale. Australia have taken the series 3-1. That doesn't mean much though, because there's one more to play in context, and it's going to be a huge affair. Just before we get to the national anthems, we're just going to show you some coverage from last night. Paul Watson caught up with the coaches Lee Kelly and Brenton Bryan. Have a watch.
Hi everyone, Paul Watson here with an end of day summary, day 2. The fourth test of the New Zealand men's against the Australian men's. I'm kindly joined by the New Zealand coach Lee Kelly. Lee, a good day of hard Open men's cricket and one test apiece, I should say. What are your thoughts at the end of the day?
Yes, two really good games. We're obviously very pleased with the result in the morning and the way the guys played, and disappointed with the second game result. But again, really pleased with the way the guys played. They're obviously two pretty close teams, and yeah.
And certainly both games today you had to chase. Obviously yesterday you were able to set. So I thought in both games your boys showed plenty of composure under pressure, so that'll be pleasing.
Yeah, it was. Good discipline, really stuck to the plans that we provided them. The win, the chase for the win was, exceptional. That's, hard to chase those sorts of scores in international cricket. So a job really well done, and, almost pulled it off in the second one there as well. Just a few more, and the boys really understand what they're trying to do, and completing that quite well.
Yeah, I think really today, lots of those pairs that you had, I think we noticed yesterday there were a couple of low pairs in each of the first two games. That first run chase today in the afternoon, 20s all around the board. So you must have been pleased with the consistency there. And then again in this last game. Moving into tomorrow, unfortunately now the series is gone. It's 3-1 Australia. What's the tactics for Game 5? Is it all out to make it 3-2 or blood a few players? What's your strategy ahead of tomorrow?
I think for us the plan for the 5 tests has always been we take it one test at a time, and they're all test matches against Australia. Are tough battles, and there will be no difference in attitude from us. We'll be going out there to win the game, and we haven't discussed the tactics of who we will and won't play. But whatever side we put out there, we back our players, and we believe that they have the skill sets to win if we ask them to play. So we're really looking forward. It's hard because obviously the series is gone, but it's a test match, and our boys will be up for it.
Yeah, great. Well, commiserations on the tough loss tonight. Congratulations on the win this afternoon. A couple of really, really gutsy run chases. You must be very proud of your boys. All the best for the 5th test tomorrow.
Thanks, Wado. I appreciate it.
Hi everyone, Paul Watson here. I'm here with the coach of the Australian men, Brenton Bryan, at the end of day 2. Australia have secured the Trans-Tasman Series 3-1. A couple of really, really close tests today. A dominant win to New Zealand in the afternoon, and Australia sneaking home in that last game there. Brenton, your initial thoughts after just winning the series?
I'm a bit in shock, to be honest. That was a good win at the end. The New Zealanders were so good today. I mentioned it before. After their first game, the bowling and fielding was first class. I've seen a lot of cricket in my time, and their commitment today to each other and the way that they bowled and fielded was sensational. And I said to my guys after they managed to get 80 on the board that I think they might have been a little disappointed with that, because I think they were all over us, and somehow we managed to scrape our way to 80 runs. So, full credit to them. They've played extremely well. I'm just a little bit in shock still.
And I think the celebration from yourself and your team showed just how much it means to win the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it means a lot to us, and it means a lot to the New Zealanders. They were in a position to be able to draw the series today and come in tomorrow at 2-2 and have all their home support. They had fantastic support here tonight. So, just to, I guess, put it to bed and have that win tonight is a great feeling amongst the group.
And certainly some pretty brave selection decisions ahead of that 4th test, dropping Justin Perkins and also some other key players for that game. 4 changes, bringing Mark Rice in for the first game. That's obviously paid off in spades. What were the thoughts behind that, and were you ever nervous about making those calls?
No, I wasn't. I actually intended to do it earlier today, and I changed my mind a few times and ended up going with a similar side that had won the first 2 against my gut. And I've gone with my gut over the last couple of years at state level and that sort of thing, and that's paid off. So I figured there was no better time to do it tonight and bring these guys in and see what they've got. I have to test these guys under pressure, and there's no better pressure than what they saw tonight. So we've seen some really good stuff from a couple of the newer guys coming in. Ricey coming in from a little bit of a hiatus from the side, and a young guy like Jamie Dina coming in, Jared Armitage for the first time. So I don't pick these guys to be a 9, 10, 11 or 12. I pick 12 players because I believe all 12 can do the job, and I guess I should have trusted my gut earlier today and gone with that. But we've managed to secure the series tonight, so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, and certainly for someone like Armitage playing his second game, but bowling the last over and getting you guys home, and Jamie Dina, some really, really nice shots early on, and obviously Mark Rice with a fantastic man of the match performance. You must be really thrilled with how they went.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really a credit to them. A couple of them have sat on the bench pretty much the whole series up until now, and they got their opportunity tonight, and they really took it, and restored the faith, I guess, that I've put in them. Or not restored, but they've shown the faith that I've put in them, and I'm really pleased for both of them because they've come in, and Jared as well. 3 debutants. It's not an easy side to come into and perform very well, but it just shows that we have got a bit of depth, and if I don't start bringing these guys through and testing them at the highest level, then what's going to happen for the future. So it's really good signs.
Yeah, and obviously with the series now secure at 3-1, the question would be, have you thought about your side for tomorrow? Thinking people like Lyle Teskey, Rob Fitzgerald with the series 1, are you looking to give them a rest, or is it all out to win 4-1?
It may not be up to me, to be honest. They might come to me and tell me that the old bodies need a bit of a rest. So, they've played a big part in the series as well. And I guess with the series secured now, I can probably afford to do that. But we'll assess the boys tonight, see how they're feeling and see how they pull up in the morning, and then we'll assess it from there. So no decisions made just yet.
Well, congratulations on an amazing game of cricket and getting home over the line there. You must be thrilled. Congratulations on winning the series here today on day 2. All the best for the Game 5 tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thanks, Paul.
So I can really hear you. Yeah, more. Yeah.
There we go.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those interviews. Some good insight between the 2 coaches. Australia up 3-1. We're just going to read out the team list here before we come to the national anthem and opening presentations. First, going to start off with the Australian lineup. Tim's going to bring that up for us. And there's the squad. Justin Perkins is the skipper. A proud moment for him. Luke Ryan, Jared Armitage, Kieran Perkins, Reece Dearness, Jamie Dina, Mark Rice, and Ryan Dowse. Out come Teskey, Fitzgerald, and Flores. In come Perkins, Dearness, and Dowse. Sonny Chen alongside me. Sonny, how does the New Zealand team read as it comes up on screen now?
Thanks, Ahmed. So we've got Victor Davies in. Michael Dunsky is out. We have Kieran Butler, Bryce Fallows, Corey Perrott, Braden Gardner, Mitch Gardner, Dion Joel and Stacey Hyman. So Ben Saunders, Carl Hooper and Michael Dunsky out.
Should be a fascinating contest. We're going to go back to the court now where they're going to start the national anthems and presentations. We'll be back with you very shortly.
It's quite hard to hear.
pleasantries are over. Battle lines are drawn. And very nice renditions of the national anthems as both teams exchange gifts. This is the final game of the 2019 Trans-Tasman Series, Palmerston North, New Zealand, the Palmerston Indoor Sports Arena. The Australia Open men have a 3-1 lead in this series. One match to play, but still a lot to play for on a game-by-game basis. This promises to be a blockbuster affair. Obviously, just recapping the other results, the Australia Open women taking a 3-2 series win over New Zealand with a definitive win in the previous encounter. Australia under-22 boys 3-2 with the New Zealand getting a win today, and the Australia under-22 girls with another win today, taking the series 4-1. The series is proudly brought to you by SMG, Inflatable World and Burley Seacombe for Indoor Cricket New Zealand, www.facebook.com/Indoor Cricket NZ. We're streaming with the boys at Be Live here. Come onto the Facebook page and join the action. This promises to be a spectacle if last night's game is anything to go by. Ahmed Khawaja for this one. Special commentary guest, as I had mentioned on the Facebook page. Could only be one person. Sonny Chan joining alongside me. Sonny, good to see you. Obviously, before we get into the game, commiserations for the series loss, but plenty of lessons learned, and looking forward to this game.
Good afternoon, Ahmed. Yeah, it was pretty tough, but I think what we got out of it was probably experience. We had 8 debutants, and you know, if someone said to us, you can have the Trans-Tasman or the World Cup, what would you prefer? Well, it's going to be the World Cup. So guys were put under pressure, and I think overall, I think we did really well. There was a really good, disciplined Aussie side, and you don't expect anything less, especially with Rob Boyston there coaching them. But they were led really well by Josh Fontana and that. But yeah, it was tough, but such is life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a lot of lessons from you learned from you and Andy Paul Anderson. And yeah, I think you got a good look at some of the players. And I think what was most pleasing from my perspective for the under-22 boys grade across both teams is I think both teams had players play an adequate amount of cricket in the right situations to get an understanding of the combinations that you like going forward.
One of our biggest things was, and when you play at this level, you have to be mentally tough. So that was one of our biggest things that we want to do, and put guys under pressure that they're probably not used to. A lot of them were coming from the 17s, but yeah, I think there was a lot of the mental side is something that's really underestimated. But as you see here, with Lee Kelly and John Rowthen, two fine coaches, 2 of our unbelievable players, and Lee Kelly obviously needs no introduction, and our New Zealand men guys are really, really mentally tough as well. So I think regarding this game, I don't think the boys will be looking at it as a 5-test series. I think the boys will be actually looking at it as a one-off game.
Yeah, well, I might have sort of mentioned this maybe offline to somebody, but I kind of look at it as akin to a sort of state of origin rugby league. You know, yes, it's a series, you want to win the series, but every game is as important. And if you think about it, whoever wins this game here is the last team that won going into the World Cup. So clearly a lot to play for.
Yeah, that's ironic you say that, because that's exactly what me and Paul Anderson
were saying. Great minds think alike, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely right. But we said the same thing to our boys before that game, is no matter what happens, you know, they will remember that we beat them off the last game. So, yeah, and Lee and that will be no different. They will be, there'll be, everything will be left out on the court today, that's for sure. As we see, Victor Davies and Kieran Butler will open up for New Zealand.
As they have throughout the series, so that's been the preferred opening pair. Got New Zealand off to the right start every time. Hasn't he been something special with the bat, Davies? Talk about standing up as a leader, so assured at the crease. And just a couple of changes from that New Zealand team as we read out before. We've got Davies, Butler, Fellows, Perrott, Braden Gardner, Mitch Gardner, Dion Joel, Stacey Heineman. Out goes Saunders and Dudunsky, in come Fellows and Joel. Unfortunately, Carl Hooper's still sick, and he won't be taking any part in proceedings, but he did play his solitary first test, so congratulations to Carl, and hope you get better soon from both of us here. How about that Australian team, Sonny? A few changes being run yet again for this last match.
Yeah, there is, and it's a shame that I'm actually I'm commentating because and they're not playing. I'd really like to see the old school boys, Teske, Fitzy, and Matty play. So yeah.
And starting off for Australia, Rhys Dearness, he comes back into the side. Justin Perkins is the Australian skipper. Proud moment for him. And Davies taking up a no ball first up. Dearness coming right arm over the wicket.
That's wide. One thing I was just talking about before about being mentally tough. Now, Victor Davies, he's the New Zealand captain, but I can tell you, he is one really tough bugger. He is really mentally tough. He knows his game inside out, and he will just keep playing to his strengths.
Yeah, I guess the start was, and a nice dive from Davies to get underway on drive for a single. Armitage has a big go at the stumps. I guess just to sort of put that in context, does it help to sort of be physically very, tough and fit to begin with? Obviously, we know he's a personal trainer by trade and runs his own business. And does that sort of help with that sort of mental side once you can sort of combat the physical side?
Yep, I think there's a couple of types of mental toughness, but if you're fit as a Victor, that's always going to help. So being mentally fit and physically fit, that's absolutely Victor Davies. And so when you push yourself to a different level, and when things get hard, you just got to keep going, and that's how you start building your mental toughness. Shot.
So how have you found Kieran Butler's return to the side? Back at opening, seems to have a yard of pace. Opening the batting with Davies as he plunders that ball into the point net for two.
Yeah, I think Butts has just come back from an operation. So I think it's great. He's deserved it. And, playing for the Wellington side, he's been a consistent performer over the years. Some off-cutter by Rhys. Well played.
Good shot by Davies. Bread and butter for him. That's way too short. And he's pulled that into the square leg net for two. First over done for Dearness, 9 for 9. And New Zealand, 9 after 1.
It's a great start. So what would I reckon the New Zealand guys will be trying to do now is looking to get the 25 for the opening pair. They've got some. They'll take 4 of their better bowlers here, and they'll just have to weather the pressure.
So Jamie Diener is coming into the attack, and I think he might be. He's been impressive in his 2 games to date. Has Diener here on debut tour for him. Bowls a nice heavy ball, nice and short. He'd be a fan of him, Sonny. It's a nice shot by Davies, though, on the legs, and away for 2.
That is a great shot. Well, it's one of the hardest shots to play, is the down up off your legs, and also when it's at the hip height. But as we can see, these boys are pretty well drilled in that.
And a no ball.
+1.
Overstepping, or rather foot on the line, 1 for Butler. And a good start in this over, 2 + 3, 5 runs in the first 2.
I think it'll be really important for the New Zealand batsmen at the moment that they're just rotating the stroke, whether it's a single or whatever the case may be, but shot. That net for 4.
Obviously don't want to harp on to last night because that was an absolute thriller, but those last 4 overs, there just seemed to be a bit of a hesitancy to I guess, turn over the strike when needing 7 in the last pair, and they kind of just sort of got themselves in a bit of a tangle.
Yep, I think it's a great shot by
That's
Kieran
a great
Butler.
shot, Kieran Butler.
Great
Hit
shot.
harder to the surface, nice drive, and it's gone down to the boundary, 4 runs.
Just going back to last night, that last partnership, Ben Saunders, they had some really good bowlers.
Yep.
But
Yep, no doubt.
the Australians, what they did was they kept asking questions. They kept pulling the balls in the right areas and getting the New Zealand boys to play. There might have been a few moves. They're just starting out their international career. So,
shot, and here's a man who's in
There we
form.
go.
2 half volleys from Dina, one on off, one on leg, and Davies obliges a powerful on drive for 5. And New Zealand have raced out 26 after 1.5 overs.
That's a great shot. That's straight out of the Nathan Daly coaching manual there.
Oh, homie.
Great call. One thing I would like to see from the Australian three-liners is them to get right over the line and really put some pressure on. And, this is where you start getting run-outs at the keeper's ends, and you've got the guys like Bryce Fellows from New Zealand who does that really well. Leif Johnson, also from Wellington, is just getting right over the line and really putting pressure on. If you bowl the right links, which the Aussies here will, but saying that, Victor and Butsy have come out all guns blazing. Here we go. We've got Perkins up, captain.
Here he is inserting himself in, and this is when he does like to bowl, typically the 3rd or the 4th in the first pair. And here comes the Victorian skipper, the Australian skipper today. Pressure on him, 26 after 2, hasn't had the best bowling tournament. This isn't sort of the surface that suits his bowling. And he's screen one down leg side, his brother does the work. Just sliding across Davies. Yeah, he typically likes the sort of surface, having seen him playing Victoria, that sort of has I guess, less something that sort of sticks in the surface, but big job here. Skipper to skipper. He's got aim! Oh, ripper from Jared Armitage on the leg line. He lost his bat, Davies, and all the momentum. We'll get a replay thanks to B Live. And he threw it in there, typically something he hits. He did hit it. Jared Armitage, great position.
Yeah, yes, that was just what I was saying. The three-liners getting right over those lines, and as we saw just in very first ball, we tried the in-swing and it went for wide, and then he tried the outie, which was brilliant.
Oh, this is much better from Australia, much better from Perkins. Nice, skidding on. One moving in, one moving out. Now asking some questions of the New Zealanders. They're still in front with 9 balls to go, 24 on the board.
Yeah, I said at the start you'd be looking for around about 20 from the opening pair because you've got 4 of their better bowlers bowling. And this is a great shot. Hopefully we can keep capitalising on it. Well bowled.
Oh, very careful. And he's been good. That's nice work from Dowse there at leg. So we've got Rice and Dowse, the 2 leg side field. And we've got Luke Ryan there off, Armitage and Dennis on the lines, Dina at receiver. And Kieran Perkins is the keeper. Interesting to see with Teskey sitting out his first match who will go in as reserve keeper.
I'd be really keen to see if Justin Perkins has got the off-cutter here.
He does. He has a really good off-cutter. He's just looking to slide it at the moment, but does not be a bad option at all, Sonny.
Again, swinger.
Yeah, just goes for the in-swinger, but a fine shot. Better from Davies.
Brilliant. He's standing tall when he plays it. He's on his toes, so he's getting over the ball, which is really good and playing it under his eyes. Perfect. There it is. There's the off.
No, very.
Get there, dive.
How's that?
Great dive.
Gets out of trouble there. Good dive, but gets out of trouble, Butler. He was on the back foot, so he was already at a disadvantage. Davies came running down, but they get away with it. Good over from Perkins. 1 for 3. New Zealand 29-1 to play, so looking good for that sort of 35, Sonny, and what an excellent start that would be.
That would be huge. One thing I'd really like to see from the batters, and again it could be just a mental side of it, but when they hit the ball or the ball hits them, they need to look. The striker needs to look at the non-striker. As you can see, probably what the camera can't actually pick up is where the crowd is behind us, where we're sitting, there's actually quite a lot of people and it's quite loud. So it's just having that eye contact, and that's straight out of the Nathan Daly coaching manual.
Here comes Dowse to finish up. Bustly customer into the crease. Yes, indeed. Well, these guys have had a good understanding. The scores would suggest 36, 23, 25, and just the one blemish, a -1 in the second game. So they have been going really well, but again, it's about that eye contact. And nice work. Oh, Armitage nearly pulls off another nice piece of work. Butler's had a lot of work to do. He spent a lot of time on the ground. 4 balls to play, 31.
Again, I'd like to see Jared on the leg 3 just get over a little bit more. I think then he has a bit more time. And if you've ever had the privilege to watch Fitzy field there, absolute.
Oh, Dina showing the expertise. Yeah, right smile from Davies. He hit that so well. And if Dina had hit the stumps, that just would have been incredible. We saw an incredible piece of fielding off his own bowling last night from Mark Rice. No one's going to forget that in a hurry. But good shot from the New Zealand captain, 3 runs.
Great shot.
Oh, Butler
Great
gets
shot.
it over. Armitage commits too early, and it just goes over him, up, down. 3 more, 3 big runs. We're heading towards 40, Sonny.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely sensational. Here we go. So Dowse is looking to come around the wicket here. I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to see an off-cutter here.
Oh, no, it's
brilliant.
gone through. Oh, I think it just might have been an off-cutter because it looked like it just spun away from Dowse, Sonny. Yeah, and it's gone for 4. 41, 1 ball to play. This has been a huge over, 10 runs.
Finish it here.
Oh, it's going again. Just 2 full from the Australians in this pair. Not asking enough questions. Butler gets 3 runs to finish, and what an applause from the crowd. Victor Davies 24, Kieran Butler 20, 44 for that first pair. Dowse no wicket for 15. New Zealand, sublime start.
That is an absolute top draw stuff there. And you can tell, and the crowd appreciate that, and you can see that there was a standing ovation for that. That was brilliant. Questions being asked of the Aussies. You know, are they put in the right areas?
No, just a bit of a shadow of how things looked last night when they were defending 80. Just too much on the pads, too much into Davies' sweet spot, and Butler then joined in on the action. Looked a bit in trouble early on as Jared Armitage is now going to come in. Stacey Hyman and Dion Joel, second pair.
Yeah, another solid pair here. Young Dion Joel, he was actually going to be, could have been playing in the 22s, but brilliant. He's played well enough to be in the men's and thoroughly deserved it. He's a very good player.
We've been quite impressed with him with the bat. Looks very assured. He's obviously been around a while, but pretty happy with the debutants in this series. Here comes Armitage.
Good shot
And
again.
2 runs.
I think, I think the debutants here have really stood up, and there's no better test than playing against Australia. You're playing the current world champions, so you're always going to be under the pump no matter what. It's well played. You know, facing your first ball, it's always good whether you score or not, but actually hitting it in the middle of the bat. You know, that's surely going to give him some confidence for the young man.
Oh, that's out. Oh, Kieran Perkins. Yeah, stunner. Oh, we'll get a replay thanks to B-Live on that one, but yeah, backhanded flick. MS Dhoni like really. And he pulled it hard, Joel, to the surface. Came, went, and Hindman had to go. And a back flick from the Australian keeper. And just class.
Yeah, well, they need to regroup here. Finish on 3. Great shot.
That's better from
Great
Hyman,
shot.
Joel easy. This time able to get the elevation over the fielder into the square leg net for 2. I guess having a look at just seeing what you're saying, Sonny, about the first few balls of an innings, you just want to find the middle of the bat. How did you find you usually got yourself into a groove when you started? And I mean, especially if you, for example, just had something like this, where you lose a wicket and within the first 3 deliveries.
I don't know if I'd be the right person to be asking about finding the middle of the bat. However, it's always a huge confidence booster. You know, for the likes of me, I always made sure that I always had really good partners. That was that's always the key with a great piece of fielding. Always having a senior guy at the other end. So here you have Dion with Stacey, who's played quite a lot of international cricket. And you always look for them for guidance. And one thing that you also do know almost every end of every over is the batsman will go to the side and they'll have their plans and they'll sit there and say, like, we've got Luke Ryan coming to bowl now, and this is what he's going to bowl, and this is what we're going to target. I do think that the Aussies are really going to be under the pump at leg 3. They're all looking to hit that hip area, and because the New Zealand guys are quite tall, that's where they'll be looking to hit it.
Here comes Luke Ryan. And, nice take from Dina at the back, nearly spun away from him. He's got 2 on leg. He's got Perkins and Rice. Douse that off and threw one right outside off stump. Be interesting to see if he does go for the hip, like you said, Sonny, with 2 on leg.
And swinger right down leg. Great take.
Yep. Nice take by Perkins. Gee, he hasn't been sharp since he came onto the Sri Lanka tour for Australia late last year as understudy to Teskey. Really equipped himself well. He's got a wicked wrong in 2. Really come up the ranks, this fella. Oh.
Top edge.
Good calling, really good calling. Could have easily just gone, but with a huge top edge, but decided not to. So Ryan asking some questions here early on. And again, now we've got a 3rd ball. Not getting past Douse. Doing a really good job up there. 3rd ball.
What I reckon we're going to see here is, I reckon it could be the late outswinger, really wide. Either that or they'll look to bowl the big innie that's going to go down leg for the stumping. Out of here it goes.
Just tried a bit too much.
Too much.
The idea was right, but the execution not there.
I think the idea was right, and without trying to sound a little bit disrespectful, but with the Aussies, that's all they go to. Their 3rd balls, 90% of the time is always that full wide one outside off, and it's obviously worked for them in the past.
That's it too, but nice shot by Hindman. That one wasn't as full, and he was able to spank that into the cover net for 2. Ryan first over has done none for 7. New Zealand 8 after the first over.
What I'd be really keen to see, and it doesn't happen often, but New Zealand get away to a flyer because of Victor and Butsy. But without the big players of Lyle, Fitzy and Maddie, I would be really keen to see how the Aussies bounce back and what their go-to is. As you can see, Lyle's on the side talking to Justin, giving him some tips. Here we go, we have Mark Rice coming in, probably the equivalent of our Nathan Daly. Bit of pace.
2 for 1 in the last game. Sonny for Mark Rice, player of the match, plus 16. Skins one down the leg side to start with. So, sorry, I repeated that was 1 over. It's actually been 2 overs. So 8 after 2 after 2.1. 54 the New Zealand score in the 7th over. Very well placed after that fine opening partnership from Davies and Butler. Also having a look at this partnership between Joel and Hindman. So now you mentioned there's probably 2 components for me. One is obviously batting someone experienced with someone a bit more sort of fresh international scene. What about the style of batsman? You know, you're batting somebody like yourself who's going to blast 7s and somebody who's going to hit the sides. Do you want sort of 2 people that are a bit different when they come into bat?
No, I think more importantly, you want 2 players that understand each other. And you play to the situation of the game. I just think that you play every ball on its merit, you know, for me it was just see ball, hit ball, or let it hit me in most cases.
Good shot, very nice shot on the legs, and gets it past Dennis, does Heinemann for 2.
I think, and I just touched on it before, it would be, you know, I think the leg 3 here, Reese is right in the firing line, because you normally have Fitzy there.
It is a lot different. Fitzgerald has moved around between leg line and receiver, obviously depending on what the makeup of the lineup has been. Dennis also commonly moving at receiver, Dina doing the work there too. So I sort of feel in that sort of triangle, both all very capable fielders. No shot, well fielded, Rice.
Rice, almost again, eh?
Wants to go again.
Yeah.
And that ends the over. Third ball play coming up. 4 runs rather for Mark Rice's first over, and this pair is 12 after 3, New Zealand 53 after 7.
Still a great start. You know, the Aussies are actually starting to ask quite hard questions again, and as you just saw that, you know, the Mark was just bowling the off-cutters and actually hitting the deck at a length, and that's the key. Is at a length. If it's too full, you've got Dion and you've got Stacey, and Stacey's known to be hitting the back net.
Right, big over coming up. Here comes Douse to finish up. Is out? Oh, out for hesitation. Thought it might have hit the leg. It did touch the leg. Umpire Adam Williams from New Zealand has mentioned. Joel puts in the hesitation. We'll check out the replay thanks to BeLive to confirm that. Just off camera, yes, he just hesitated slightly, and of course, it's only third ball play. If you take a hesitation movement, immediately given out.
Yeah, you've got to go.
Well bowled, Ryan Douse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's go single. Interesting you mentioned the typical Australian way, the third ball going outside off, full, but this time Douse strangles Hyman down leg side.
Yeah, it was really well bowled, really well bowled. I wouldn't want to see one pitched up though.
Nope, and they'll get another third ball, so 2 third balls in the last 6 deliveries.
Aussies are bringing it back nicely. Rolling the fingers over it, hitting the hip. Stacey's not being just tall enough.
That's out. That's gone. That is out. Off the leg line. We'll get a replay thanks to BeLive, but that was the plan, and it's worked out for Australia. Got it off to Hyman's legs, nice and full from Douse. And Justin Perkins, well, he doesn't need a second invitation, one of the best on the leg side going around, and his brother does the rest. Great setup from Australia.
One thing I would have really liked to see then is that Stacey, I would have liked to see them drive to the back net. That's one of his strengths. That rebowled.
Doesn't seem like they've allowed him, like you said, haven't bowled that full to him to allow him to do that.
Yeah, the Aussies will have some plans to Stacey and Dion as well. But I just think that, you know, the pressure of the third balls, that they haven't got that many runs in their partnership. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's it.
And, you know, that's one of Stacey's strengths is, you know, hitting to the back net, where I think the one that you just saw, that the last run out, that could have gone to the back net as well.
That was a better shot from Joel, getting it a bit full into the leg side for 3. Last ball coming up. A nice delivery. They haven't allowed him to settle in that area. Great over from Ryan Douse. He finishes up. He gets 2 wickets in that over. He finishes with 2 for 9. Joel 7, Heinemann -1. The pair score 6. And New Zealand, after a great start of 44, have been held back. Australia fight back here, 50 after 8.
Here we go again. We've got Bryce here with braids. Sorry, it's Mitch. So what you're going to find with the New Zealand guys, they're looking to have a senior player and a younger player.
Yep. And that's not. I think it's not unlike what Australia have also been doing. The likes of Teskey batting with Drever.
Yep.
and Fitzgerald. So it's yeah, sorry, but it's an interesting mix to be happy doing that. Quite common, do you think? Sort of the higher up you go, or
it depends how you look at it. I think what, and to be fair, both teams are doing it. It's you're looking towards the World Cup. So yeah, I really I like it. Mitch is in pretty good hands with Bryce here, also known as Chicken, who's just recently received his cap for playing his 50th test for his country.
yeah, magnificent achievement.
Yeah, 2 players in the country to do it, followed by good mate Lee Kelly, who's the current coach of the New Zealand men's. Starting up with Reese here. I've cut it a start.
Got an indoor cricket legend with me alongside me, and Sonny Chan. So if you've got questions or comments, feel free to send them through. We'll do our best as we can to address them. As Sonny's here for the first innings. Got a good question coming up here as Dennis is finishing off. And it's another dot, and we've got a third, just a dot ball. Glenn Dawson, is the hesitation a silly rule? Does it really matter how the score changes as long as it changes? If a slow bowler throws in a wide and the batter hesitates before it's called, they're out. I'll let you answer that one after this, Sonny, as Fellows struggles to get that one away.
It depends how you look at it. When I'm batting, I have quite a lot of third balls on me. When I'm bowling, I like to get guys on third ball. Is it a silly rule? No. No, I think what you want to do is...
Speaking of third balls, great delivery. Not sure what Fellows was doing there. He forgot the straight bat, as the replay will show, thanks to B Live. Nice, full straight, back of a length straight delivery from Dearness. Just looking to cut it. Perkins does the rest, get to Dina, and Australia in business early on.
Just getting back to Glenn's question, is the hesitation, it's yes and no. I'm not really an umpire, so yeah, I'd prefer just to play it as a normal ball, to be honest with you, but hey, that's just what it is. Right, New Zealand back under the pump here after a really good start by Butsy and Victor. And swing up.
Yeah, oh, nice, very nice cutter. He's got the one in the arsenal. We've been asking for it from the likes of Perkins, and Dearness has come up trumps. A second third ball coming up, and Dearness is done for today, 1 for 6 off his 2 overs.
Yeah, it's well bowled. He's been around for a wee while as well, so just because the Teskey, Fitzy and Matty are sitting out, Dearness has been around. He's played in a few World Cups, so yeah, here we go.
So third ball for Perkins. Are you looking for the cutter on this one? What do you think? He's got 2 on leg?
I think they'll put 2 on leg, and it's going to be the full wide one.
Okay.
I'd be surprised. There we go. The full wide one, and Mark Rice has moved into point. Well, it could be the double bluff, but I'm going with the full wide one.
Oh,
he's dropped it.
It's hit him on the leg. He went across the line as Fellows. I think he'd be better off with a straighter bat, but the single for Fellows, -2, as we have the entrance of the second over. Been really impressed. Come after this ball. Nice shot, nice delivery from Perkins. Really impressed with Mitch Gardner this series, really stepped up. Slightly tough time with the bat in Asia. And this pair did bat together a couple of times in Singapore, but feel like he's just starting to really find his feet at this level.
He's a young man, and it's so good to see. Good outswinger there.
Nice, squeezed away.
Brilliant.
The Zing bail slide up, but no bail fall off.
I know Mitch has worked really, really hard. He reminds me of a guy, Craig Foster, that busts his butt off every single time he trains. And as you can see, we don't give away test caps. You've really got to earn it, and Mitch is definitely one of those. Well bowled. As you can see, the key here is not whether it's in swing or out swing or the off cutter. I think the key here is the length that he's bowling at. So Yeah.
Just managing to get to jump a bit, and it is on the right length, I think, for Perkins on this pitch.
It's an outswinger, well played by Bryce.
Yep, manages to squeeze one away towards point for a single. So a very tough over, but a better one, and Justin Perkins is done 1 for 7 off his 2 overs, and New Zealand, this pair, 1 after 2, 51 after 10.
Yeah, I think before you went to the start of the game, you know, you're looking around the 80, 85, 90 mark, somewhere around there. And, you know, getting off to a flyer with 44, I think you'd be a bit upset about where we are at the moment. But saying that, the Aussie guys are bowling really well. They're hitting a really good length. Just to answer Hunty's...
Sonny, are you coming back?
No.
The National Club Champs next week.
So when I announced my retirement, it was after the Masters Trans Tasman where we beat Aussie 4-1. I announced my retirement. My body's... I think the physios were getting too annoyed with me. So, no, I'd retired from the playing international and playing provincials. But I've got a bunch of 13, 14-year-olds at Wellington Indoor Sports with me. So I'm helping to coach them. So that's where where I am at the moment, is more side of the coaching.
Kieran Perkins.
It's good drift.
Is it off? Oh, it's off the
he's
edge.
getting it out.
Down leg side, strangled him. The wrong end. I think fellas thought maybe hit clip the leg. Maybe we'll get a replay to check this one out thanks to B Live. Has he strangled him down the leg side? Oh yeah, maybe just off the edge of the bat. Umpire Adam Williams has given that one, rebounded off the back, and New Zealand go back into the negatives. Boy, has this guy been impressive this season, this series rather.
New Zealand losing regular wickets here.
They've not picked us wrong in all series. And poked at it. Oh, yes. Very, very good work, Kieran Perkins. X-factor player with the ball. Got a quick comment there from Bo Nicholson. This feels like a changing of the guard for Australia. Invaluable experience for a young side today.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the guys that are on there, you know, Lyle and Fitzy and those guys, they lead them really well. So everybody knows what their roles are. And especially would be in the Aussie side. So they train really hard. Yeah, they'll just be going out there doing what they know that they can do and what they've been asked to do. They won't go outside of that game plan. And as you can see, next time you can see it, you see all the Aussie guys right up against the net, cheering the young guys on.
Oh, throws a Zuda. He just throws it seam up. He tends to do that from time to time in club indoor cricket. I guess what I sort of perceive is that, you know, you've got the confines of a small net for guys like Fitzgerald, Teskey, Dennis, Perkins to be leading the team, but really it goes well beyond that. Come back to that after this ball. Oh, nice wrong and well played by Gardner, but another single that ends the over.
That was a dot ball.
Oh, rather, yeah, sorry. Apologies. 1 for -2 for Kieran Perkins' start. That is a dot ball. -1 after 3 New Zealand on this pair. 49 after 11. Yeah, I think that leadership just goes beyond the court to the point that when they're not there, they've got people that have instilled into them that know what their roles are once they take play for the game.
Yeah, 100%. I think when you've got guys like Lyland that have been around, you know, forever and a day, they'll be passing things on.
Yeah.
They'll be passing the knowledge on to the younger guys, and that will be going back to state cricket and their club cricket and stuff like that. So when they actually turn up to international cricket, it doesn't seem that there's that much. It is a huge step, but it's not a great step up because they know what they're actually going to do.
Nasdina bowls seam up and quick, and that's a lot better from Fallows. Got across the stumps and work that leg, lance that into the corner rather, square leg for 2. So that'll give him a bit of confidence.
Yeah, this will be a big over for New Zealand here. Pitched it up.
Great shot, Gardner. That's his bread and butter there. He does like it. Just nice. Serenely pushes into the ball into the cover net for 2. With his mum looking on narrowly. Brother Braden, brother Josh. It's a family affair for the Gardeners. And that one off the pitch too, and they get an extra one. I think New Zealand, for mine, Sonny, anything less than 80 is not good enough here.
Yeah, well, yes, I think we've got some bowlers. We've got some really decent bowlers, and you know, Aussie have left out some decent bowlers.
Nice work, fellas.
So I think
Jammed
this
it out.
is, you know, the 70 mark. We can go with that 70 to 80 mark. You know, you've got Corey Perrott coming in, and you know, and Braden, and they're not mugs of the bat. They'll hit the ball hard. That's for sure.
Nice work. No, I don't think he collected the stumps with the ball first time round at Rice. A good shot there by Gardner off his legs. Real impressed with Corey Perrott. Looks a very compact sort of player despite his height. Very calm under pressure is sort of what I gauge from him.
Yeah, he. One thing I do know about him.
Oh, nice shot, Bryce Fellows. That's him. That's what he does. Jams that one down into the corner for 2. No real swing on offer for Dina, so it's a safe shot.
I think what New Zealand will be looking for now is if they can come out on around about the 75, 80 mark, I would be really happy with that. It's a great shot.
Great shot. Mitch Gardner into his arc. Great finish. That's what they wanted. New Zealand 13 for that pair. And an expensive day out for Jamie Dina. No wicket for 31 off 2. Gardner 10, Fellows 3. New Zealand 44, 6, 13, 63 after 12. And now that 80 mark is looking a lot more achievable with Perrott and Braden Gardner to finish.
So the first over these guys are going to face is probably going to set the tone. This is this is really, really big here. This can be, you know, the 80 plus, and then New Zealand go into the field with momentum, and most people know that momentum's such a huge importance in indoor cricket. So hopefully they can start off. Just got a couple of shout outs. Can we just want to say hi to Dave Scott, who is the Nepalese Tigers captain. Hey mate, and we also have the big man Jesse Ryder in the house coming along to support the boys.
Got him, and he's a good man, is Jesse Ryder.
Great shot.
Really loves his indoor, and that's what I like to see. He's played for New Zealand outdoor cricket, but he's really into his indoor, and he knows his stuff too. And I can't imagine it won't be long before we see him back. He's obviously been playing in the UK this summer. Yeah. And here comes Luke Ryan. And outside edge. And Perrott comes with the early call through. Gardner in, and a single.
It's a great case there of his eye contact. As soon as Braid's hit it, he looks straight for Corey. And all of a sudden, you find that it's gone to point and they're running. It's great tuning over the strike, putting the pressure back on Australia.
It's an interesting one. I mean, you can't exactly say, I mean, it's easy to call no because you're not going to run, but what about yes? I mean, do you just have that understanding straight away, especially when you come into an international team and you're not going to, you know, have preference over who you bat with? Ryan comes in again.
Here we go. That's what happens.
Perrott slaughters it to the back. Half volley, smashes it. Off drive for 4-5. And that's a shot of authority from a man in form.
That's what happens when you pitch it up to CP. It's great.
And there's Braden.
It's Nathan Daly has been coaching again. If it's in the V, it's in the tree.
Yeah, I do like I like that.
He needs to find his length here. Does Ryan?
Very, very close. Oh, Adam Williams standing firm on that one. Big dive from Perrott. It's probably that 7'5" frame that saves him. And Luke Ryan has finished his 2 overs, none for 16, 9 for the pair off that first over. 3 to play, New Zealand 72.
As you well know, it's not just the players or the coaches that are under the pump. You know, you've got an umpire up there. We get the benefit of replays, and unfortunately the umpires don't. I think it's close. You're a brave man if you're going to give that out. It's a great dive.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's just a hard call to make, and you're rather err on the side of caution than be too aggressive. That's my view, of course. I think a lot of people might disagree with me, but in the absence of technology, you really just got to. I think you've really got to be more conservative. Here comes Mark Rice to finish up. No run there. Nice work. That was Perkins and Dowse patrolling that leg side, bowling into his field. Good processes.
I think what we're going to find here is Mark's going to really roll his fingers over. You know, the ball's a little bit older. It's going to grip a little bit more, and it'll start kicking. There's the off cutter, and there it goes again.
It grips straight into the V of Parrott's bat. He even gets an applause on Sonny Chan. That's 5 runs. He's done it back to back, and New Zealand now really closing in on a good total.
Come on,
this
boys.
game has swung in the last few overs.
77, great number. But quicker there.
Yeah, that's a bit better from Rice. I don't think Gardner expected that at all, actually, to be honest. He was waiting for one on his legs with 2 on leg, so nice bluff from Rice.
I don't know if Mark knew that was going to happen either.
Nice.
Great work.
Good work. Perkins falling over, and it's going to be 2 to play in the 14th. 78 is the total.
It's really packed out here at Palmerston North Indoor Centre. There's all the teams are here. It's a great atmosphere. One thing I would like to see is Braden to be backing up a little bit more for ones that do squirt off the legs or go into the corner or anything like that. I really would like to see him back up a little bit more. If you get it right, it's almost 2 steps in a dive and you're in.
Yep.
And again, you're rotating the strike.
Oh, another full delivery. Parrott misses out. Played away from his body, so he lost a bit of control. And it will be a 3rd ball to start the 15th over. Rice, his 2 overs, none for 10. This pair 15 after 2. 78 after 14.
Here we go. I think you've just seen Braid just pop to the side. They'll be saying, just watch out for the outie here.
So yeah, it is really packing out now at the Palmerston Indoor Sports Arena. Great to see so many people on the live stream. Questions or comments, let us know, and we'll do our best here. A couple of shout outs for me, Nishaba Khawaja, Rabia Khawaja, and the rest of the Khawaja family, and a few fellas in Victoria who are watching, the Perkins brothers, Joffa Mark, Shane Hesline. Good to see you boys all watching. Here comes another Victorian in Armitage.
Outswing it.
And nice full delivery. Good shot by Gardner. Not only he's poked it away from his body, smashed it straight into the springs on cover. 2 runs. New Zealand have 80, 11 balls to play.
90's on the charts here, 90. Come on, boys. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
He's got that spray can in his hand.
This is the over. Last night he held the key to Armitage in that very last over, and he came up trumps under pressure. Yeah. More pressure here.
Good soft hands.
10 balls to play.
Personally, I would be happy with 90. I would be really happy with 90.
Yeah, I would. That is a super competitive score for mine. Yeah.
Brilliant, considering the start and the struggle with the middle pairs, but 90 is great. Great
shot, Corey Parrott. Great shot.
Good.
Short and wide. That's not swinging from Armitage. He's more of an up and down bowler, and up and down the ball goes. To cover for 2 more, 84.
I would like to see him bowl a little bit shorter. That's the outie.
Australia are erring a little bit in their length, but I think this is really the bowlers that aren't swinging at the likes of Rice, Armitage. There's not a whole lot of pace there.
What I have noticed is Perkins, the keeper, is he's thrown side arm a little bit like Paul Bascan. Obviously, definitely a lot harder than Paul.
Nice work from Douse, just misses it. It's a
Here
single
we go.
as Gardner squeezes it out to point 85. A big last over coming up and a big game bowler and Kieran Perkins. This promises to be very interesting.
I think they need to be really tough here, and I think if you have that in mind, you know, you take the dot, you know, work hard for it too. This will be what I'd like to see would be you either play Perkins off the back foot, and if you can read it, you play it and you're playing off the back foot going over point.
Yeah.
But what I would really like to see is taking a couple of steps down the wicket and putting them into the car park.
Yep, absolutely.
And as you saw, well, if you saw that when Matt Scoble was batting today, he was hitting the field into the car park, which was quite good. So here we go.
Here comes Perkins. Away from it,
Another
and
point.
Gardner, good
Right,
shot.
there you go.
Just a bit too short. Not going to the wrong end yet. And swung it away for 2.
That was it. That's just
Yep.
rocking onto the back foot, playing it over
Yep.
point. Giving
Perfect.
yourself enough time.
Perfect execution.
It's wrong in.
It's
Great
a
work.
wrong end, and Pera gets it away, picks it, and doesn't move away. So that's what the key was to that shot. 2 more into the point area, so 89 4 balls to play.
Oh, it could have been wide.
Oh, nice
Oh.
work.
He's
Threw that one in down leg side.
He's getting a lot of drift as well. I really like this. This is good. Here we go. This is a big ball here. That's it. That's what I was
Yeah,
talking about.
that's
Playing
it.
at that point.
Yep.
You know, he's a good bowler. Take the dot. That's brilliant.
Take the dot. Like I said, if you reckon 90 is
Yep.
it, and 28 is an impressive total, really, the way they've batted here.
We've got the bowlers to defend 80.
And he's coming for the
Change
quicker
up.
one. Not a bad option at all. It's
Down.
got to be gone. Got to be
Not
gone. Great work from Perkins. Nice change up. And Pera had to go. We'll get the replay thanks to B Live. It's that Perkins seam up delivery. He tends to bowl it once in a while. And Dina does the rest. Swift work. Nice work, Australia.
Yeah, that's not what New Zealand needed. We
Yep,
need,
on the fifth.
last ball.
Yep.
You bang this for 2.
Oh, wow. Nice
There you
wrong
go.
and again.
Good work.
Gardner survives. Yep. Right smile there.
It's a great score. That is a really good score. Now, you know, the pressure, you got the Aussie last pair, and the pressure will be right on them. I think New
Right.
Zealand will be pretty happy with that.
Great spell from Kieran Perkins, 2 for no wicket. Sorry, rather 2 wickets for no runs. New Zealand pair make 24 to Pera and Gardner. New Zealand batting first here, match 5 of the Trans-Tasman Series Open Men, 44, 6, 13, 24, 87. Sonny Chan, your thoughts on that one?
I thought New Zealand started off with a hiss and a roar, and that was top notch there. And Aussie brought it back, and that's what they've done for the last 20 odd years. You know, they'll get in trouble and they'll bring it back, they'll claw their way back, they'll fight tooth and nail. And I think CP Corey Perrott batting at the end with Braids, that was great. That was, you know, that was pressure runs. So that 24, you know, that was like hitting a 30. That was really that was pressure score. That as we see Victor bringing the boys out now. Game on.
Absolutely. Sonny Chan, thank you very much for your thoughts, mate, for dropping in, and no doubt we'll be catching up a bit later tonight. And go well.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
And when we come back, Australia will be chasing 88 to win Game 5. Welcome back, everyone. The final instalment of the Trans-Tasman Series 2019. Palmerston Indoor Sports Arena at Palmerston North, New Zealand. The crowd has really got into its groove, and the live stream is kicking thanks to Be Live. Proudly sponsored by SMG, Inflatable World, Burley Seacombe. That's the ball Mitch Gardner has in his hand. And New Zealand are defending 87, Australia 88 to take a 4-1 lead. www.facebook.com/indoor cricket NZ. Join the live stream, get on the action, or get down to the centre. Justin Perkins and Kieran Perkins are lining up. We'll talk to you more about that shortly. Here comes Gardner. Oh, swung away from him early. Now, Justin Perkins, Australian skipper today, typically has been closing with Matt Flores in the first 3 games. Back where he usually belongs here at the top of Croydon and Victoria, opening with his brother Kieran as well. So they'll really enjoy this, batting together. And what a thrill it is, batting with your own brother in an international match. Surely, Guy Coleman.
Yeah, there's a real chemistry between the two, especially when you see Justin bowling, Kieran keeping. You see that real brother chemistry, much like the Otto brothers of old. You saw Corey and Jay back in the day. Yeah, absolutely great chance for them. So impressed with the start here. It's nice and tight. Good lines from Gardner, but he's probably just missing his length a little bit. I think he probably wants to be a little bit fuller.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's capable of swinging it to pin away in the early overs, regardless of the length, he may as well just go really full.
Nice. That's a fantastic shot. Really good shot by Kieran. Not missing the mark by much though, Gardner. I think the intent here by the Australian bats, or they don't want Mitch.
Great shot, Kieran
fantastic shot.
Justin Perkins strikes it down the ground for 5, and that's the way that they want to start. 12 for Australia after the first over.
Yeah, after all the damage of this whole series, we've seen Mitchell Gardner be very, very effective when he's gone full and straight, swinging it around. And it's really obvious there that the Australian batsmen are not going to let him dominate. Really good attitude, much like the Kiwi start with Davies and Butler. Hitting anything full really hard and straight and getting the rewards for it.
And speaking of the context of the game, 88 to win, it's plain as day to see what Australia are doing here. Going to take no chances. They need to get off to a great start. They're sitting on a reliable pair who know each other inside out.
Well, what I really like when I look around this Kiwi group, the attacking, they've got 7 strike weapons. I'm going to include Victor Davies in that because of his wicket-taking ability. You're welcome, Victor. Really good attacking options with the ball.
Oh, that's short from Butler to start with. Kieran Butler, right arm over the wicket. Bustles in, and 1 for Justin Perkins, pulling it up down. So 13 on the board, start of the second over. Great start for Australia. Oh, it's a no ball, criminal from Butler, and Kieran Perkins puts that away so easily too, into the square leg net, 4 runs, and both pairs from New Zealand and Australia first have raced out of the blocks. Oh, nearly. That's a lot better from Butler. Squeeze Perkins. He likes to give himself a bit of room regardless where it is and push it into the point net. Nearly played it onto his stumps.
Look, and really interesting because of the attitude of the Perkins brothers when the ball's been full from the previous over. Butler hasn't want to go there, and that's his strength. So already we've seen he's wanted to go on a shorter length because he's watched the Perkins boys look to go back net with anything full. I think Butler really needs to back himself here, make sure he gets the ball up there, swinging away, and then that off-cutter on the length really becomes so lethal.
That's just too easy. There's nothing there for him. It's not challenging them. These two players are very, very comfortable pulling, cutting either side of the net in the front court. So, like you said, his own game plan and now has gone out the window, it appears, Guy.
Yeah, the Kiwis want to be careful here. they've really got to find a way. They need to almost operate Australian-like here with their bowling. If they can start building up those dots, building up that pressure, and just make the batters really work for every single run, and then try and do that damage with the outs. One of the things I wanted to pull out before as well, if you look at all of the little half chances and chances that the Australians took in the field, really could be the difference, because I think that New Zealand will, with this bowling attack, will get those chances, but it's about whether they can convert them, and that might just be the difference in this game.
Would appear so. Colsey, it's a rocket start for this pair, 21 in the first 2. Just going back to Davies and Butler, like you said, opened up for New Zealand 26 in the first 2, so not a lot in it, but Australia going out towards this target. They want the 4-1 win. They got a great win in obviously what we term one of the games of indoor in recent memory, and Corey Perrott, very impressive this series. It'd be interesting to see what he's doing. He's got Jolan Davies there on leg for him. Yeah, very nice, very well, tailed in late, wrapped him on the pad. Perkins won't get that away, and they've got a 3rd ball. Big chance for New Zealand.
Yeah, like the selection of Corey bowling this one as well, because they're not afraid. Corey still wants to get this ball up. He's going to either angle in the leg or really push the ball up, get it swinging around.
Nice
A little bit surprised that he's swapped Victor over there, with the game plan being that he wants to tie him up, get into that knee of the Perkins brothers. You want to be stationing 2 on the leg there. So interesting call. And not so much a length issue there, it's the line there that Corey's starting that. Just allowing Perkins just to free his arms. Yeah, it's the Kiwis hunting for a wicket here, get the ball rolling, get themselves on a bit of a momentum run.
Nice work,
nice
in
areas.
traffic.
Nice
Gardner and Perkins, the brothers of brothers, exchanging a few shoulders. It's good, tough cricket here so far. Nice over from Perrott. Down leg side, just misses length. Perrott, every ball he bowls is important. He looks a wicket taker. 27, 1 ball to play in the 3rd.
A little indiscretion is just creeping in here. Really want to keep those down to a minimum.
That's very disappointing finish, Guy. And 29 after 3 with a 2nd leg side wide. Perrott's first over goes for 8. Davies to finish. It will be Victor Davies to finish, so...
Strike weapon.
Colsey's had a few cups of coffee today. So he'll have Joel and Fellows there on leg. Davies will come right arm around the wicket, Perrott it off. Gardner's on the lines, Butler at receiver. And really just got to stem the flow here more than anything. So 2 scores, 31.
So I think Davies here, they've really got to search for that wicket. If they can get it and just keep these Perkins brothers around that 30 mark, they'll feel like they're still in the hunt here.
Nice shot. Perkins, he does like it there on the legs. Turns it onto the leg side net. Over Gardner for 2 runs. Oh, that's short and wide, and that's bread and butter for Justin Perkins. How impressive has this pair been? They've soaked up a bit of pressure. They've run well. They've understood and communicated well. Perfect pair.
Yeah, and Justin Perkins, the captain, leading from the front, isn't he?
Nice shot. Yeah, he likes that. Again on the legs. Just missed it. Just misses line to Davies, and Perkins punishes him for it.
Reckon they'll go for the skin. 44. 2 balls remaining.
Oh, he's going. But Perkins, he hadn't called, but Kieran had gone in early. Well, if it's a 7, if he wants to go for it, I know you probably would, Colsey. I did see that the other week, so... Oh, no. Well, put it in context when you're chasing as opposed to setting, and you've got 40 chasing 90. The rest of the pairs can now follow suit. No, nice. Nicely bowled. That's probably where he was looking for, just outside leg stump. A fantastic pair. If you want to learn how to bat an indoor and how to soak up some pressure, go back and watch those 4 overs, surely, Guy.
Yeah, I think Kieran and Justin are going to remember that partnership for a very long time. That is high quality. And again, how important is that chemistry, the brothership there? You could really see it. They're feeding off each other. And, you know, the Kiwis, I think, probably let them off a little bit, just not bowling into their areas. But that was because the Perkins brothers early on, if you're going to pitch it up to me, I'm going to hit you. It's a fantastic attitude to have, whether you're opening the batting or whether you're batting and closing and trying to chase down a runs. It's a fantastic attitude to have, and you don't let the bowlers dominate. And you know, the pressure now is back on the Kiwi bowlers to go back to their game plans, trust the process. Sorry for that cliche, but it's
Yep,
true, and that's why it's brought out
Absolutely.
so much. Put that scoreboard away. Don't even worry about the scoreboard. Just concentrate each ball as it comes out, and just make sure you're doing your job when you're the bowler.
Yeah, absolutely. Very sage advice. I can't not agree more on that. 48 needed now off 3 pairs, off 12 overs. Yeah, Joff and Mark, my mate, saying the Perkins brothers, a big thumbs up from him, and what a quality player Joff was.
Wow.
Uh,
Joffa, just a big hey, mate, because I'm a big fan of yours. You don't know who I am, but I certainly know who you are, mate. Yeah, good to see you on, mate. Fantastic.
Don't worry, I know him. I'll get you an autograph if you want, Colsey.
Best point fielder I've seen.
Yeah?
Yeah, without a doubt.
High praise from a very good cricket mind, so I'm going to take that and revise him. He's offered to coach me in the past. There we go. As Gardner will, as he has every game he's played, bowls the first and the 5th. And Mike Zarb also reminding me, I have been talking about the Victorians out of some slight bias, but also got a South Australian in our mix, Jamie Diener. And how well has he gone on debut? Ryan Dowse, his partner from Queensland, and Gardner straying down leg side. We've got a left-right combination.
Yeah, so this is going to be really interesting here because the Kiwis will have this game plan to go at Ryan Dowse's knee. They know that's the game plan. There it is, first up. It's going to be a tight window because if they miss their mark, they either go too full and straight, and Dowse is not afraid to have a good go at that and hit it hard. And then the wide line comes into play as well. But if that game plan comes off, they can really tie up Ryan Dowse into the hip and into the knee. Yeah.
So they've got a 3rd ball. That was what I like to see from Mitch Gardner. Nice and full, tailing in to Dowse, 2 on leg. He's got a 3rd ball.
Dowse might come up the wicket here.
And he does.
No.
But
yeah, well played from Dowse. He's played late. Hit it high into the roof, got himself through. Well played. Bit of pressure on Diener here now. Again, using that short ball from you know, a guy who's just been doing so much damage going full. First ball of the partnership for Jamie Diener.
so, to be honest, I find that a bit hard to understand, to be honest. But look,
Well,
maybe just trying to change it up is probably all I can think of.
It's obviously in the game plan. We've seen Kieran Butler go to it. We've seen Mitch Gardner go to it as well. I don't know if there was a fear of predictability about it, or they're just too afraid that they'll go for runs in the back net. I don't know, but would like to see it, see the balls a little bit fuller rather than shorter here.
You know, the HD card.
And again, Stacey be looking to go into that knee of Ryan Dowse.
Yeah, okay, cool. No worries. So 3rd ball now, Stacey Heineman into the attack.
Yeah, so Hyman Hyman's got the ability to have the off cutter. He's a really good off cutter, actually. See, mate, look, just to go over the top of off stump here and beat the bat.
Yep, and well, he surprises Dowse with a short delivery. I think we'll get a replay thanks to B Live to check that out and surprise him a bit. A nice pull stroke and an easy catch for Braden Gardner there off the leg side net. Just diving, good take, and a big wicket. New Zealand really needed that.
Yeah, well bowled and really targeting Dowse into that leg, into the legs and into the body, forcing him to play into that leg side net. Fantastic off cutter there from Hyman, going through the gate. I don't think the Kiwi guys, the Kiwi team aren't going to panic here. They're going to know that if they get an out and over, out every 2 overs, they just keep that scoreboard where it is and make these batsmen just feel like they're treading water and going nowhere with dots and ones around that. So we see 2 dots after the wicket. Fantastic bowling from Hyman. Yeah, this is international quality.
Gets a second, third ball off his bowling. This is fantastic stuff from Stacey Hyndman. Very nice and tight. Yeah, great bowling there. Throws it in short again. He's done it twice. One's picked up a wicket. One wraps Dina on the elbow. They scramble through for a single. Escape that third ball. 1 to go in the 6th.
Yeah, that is absolute high-quality bowling and a chance missed there. We're talking about those half chances in the field being taken. I don't think Kiwis want to miss out on too many of those.
And a leg side to add insult to injury, but it's a good first over from Stacey Hyndman nonetheless. He has picked up 1 for -2. The pair is 3 after 2 overs.
And Hyman come away with 1 wicket there, -2 off his first over. So moving on to Dion here, so left arm over the wicket. Chinaman bowler, so for everyone out there, left arm leg spinner. Does have some real ability with it, but being so young, he just hasn't been doing it for a long time either. So still learning the craft, still learning the trait, but when he goes in the right areas, he's nigh on unplayable.
Oh, wow. That is just a gift, unfortunately, for Dina. Fortunately for Joel. We'll get the replay here, thanks to B Live. It was an absolute long hop, and Dina is the only thing he succeeded in doing is hitting it up, down.
Do you reckon that was a game plan by the Kiwis?
Oh, let's just say yes and enjoy that moment. And so much so he's done it again, but this time Dina learns his lesson and carves that quite easily into the mid-wicket net for 2. But yeah, nothing like a gift on your first delivery to get away with that. How long has Joel been working on it as a Chinaman or within the indoor realm? Nice bowling.
So the thing about Dion that a lot of people won't know out there, he's actually pure ambidextrous. So he has the ability to bowl right arm pace and left arm Chinaman. So he is actually, I believe he's left hand dominant, but he has the ability to bowl really nice shape, right arm seamers.
That's out. That's gone. Great fielding. In the front corner was Parrott. And that's run out. We'll get the replay thanks to B Live. And then it was another short one. Dowse hit the cover of it into the net, but Parrott picked up the retrieval. And Hyndman does the rest. 2 big wickets for the Kiwis this over. -5 now the pair.
So let's see if Dion can finish this set off. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but next ball, it's got to be in his mind. Let's get this one right.
Yeah, just too short on one. This time Dowse is onto it. To be fair, that last shot that he played, the pull shot, was exceptional, but Parrott's reflexes off the back were great, and Joel ends up with 2 for -4. Got an interesting point actually from Corey Todd. Well, you're saying that he can bowl right arm seamers and left arm Chinaman, so Are we sort of saying that his right arm seam is not good enough to be bowling at this level, or
right. So just let me clarify what I was saying there. So about he's been around the Super League scene at Premier level around 4 or 5 years, and he started bowling. He's been going from one to the other because he just didn't have that confidence until. A few in the New Zealand crowd and around the coaching scene and that said, hey, look, we really think that if you get that left arm Chinaman going right, then you can be a real weapon. Now, the Premier level, when he gets it right, he is very good. And, he's just, it takes a long time to get that up right.
Not an easy art, nonetheless. Bowling leg spinner right armour is hard enough.
The fact is that in New Zealand cricket, he is one of the best bats in the country. I know Lee Kelly rates him extremely highly with the bat. He offers a huge amount on the field. And if they can just get that bowling right, then it becomes a real weapon for New Zealand cricket long term.
And speaking of wily campaigners, here's Bryce Fellows into the attack, right arm over the wicket, swinging right away from Dowse, who misses it, but they scramble through for a single.
Fantastic
and now he's going to really, I think, squirt this straight into Dina. And that he does, and hits him on the knee. Perfect execution.
Yeah, using his experience, Bryce, amazing bowler, amazing career, and really looking to do some damage here on Jamie Dina.
Just a bit too much
missing the window. Just missing the window. I like the idea though. Let's see if he goes to the leg cutter. Nice work feeding the field. Really good piece of bowling here from Bryce Fellows. Yeah, that's an amazing set from Fellows. He's really stepped up. That's fantastic. And, a lot of pressure on that Australian batting unit. I think the thing is, same with the Kiwi partnerships, is that they've really relied heavily on that first partnership. So that, the Aussies are still well in the hunt here because of that fantastic start by the Perkins brothers. Armitage and Luke Ryan coming into bat 3 for the Australians. I think the New Zealanders will really look to target Luke Ryan here. Quality bat, but I really feel like they've got some good game plans set up for him. Armitage only in his 3rd test, but riding on a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think this will be the one they target. Yeah, and interesting, they might have not saved them for the last with Dennis and Mark Rice, and that is going to be a very strong pair to finish. So this will be the pair that really just looks to set those guys up, and even I think they'll be happy to chase 30 in that last pair, frankly. So this will be for New Zealand really to put it on them. Couple of similarities there, I guess, in New Zealand by comparison, ahead by 8 runs at the halfway mark, 44 and 6, Australia 40 and 2. So 87 plays 42. Braden Gardner, X-Factor bowler. This could be very, very poignant in this part of the match. 46 needed in the last 2 pairs. Down leg side. Oh, he's got in! Smart work from Hindman behind the stumps. And it's a stump straight away.
Unbelievable start. Umpire about to call that wide. Stacey Hyman.
To be fair, he did call it wide just after he just lost a bit of balance. And honestly, if you're a keeper, that is the hardest stumping in the book. It's just the pick it up like that, isn't it?
Yeah, Perkins has been brilliant at it this whole series. And, Hyman has done an amazing job there with the glove.
This is the next 4 is going to be vital to this match. If they don't 3 score enough, it's going to be leave a lot, even for a pair like a Dennis and Rice. Off the thing, just
that's
one.
A fantastic shot.
Yeah.
Just missing out on the 3.
Really just seemed to deserve
Armitage,
it.
what a fantastic shot to start after his partners got out first ball. He's good under pressure, isn't he, Armitage? He really backs himself.
Yep, do like the look of him.
Yeah.
I think, was it last night we were covering the game and Parrott was all over them in a third ball, and he just flung the arms and smashed them down the ground for four. You know, that's the sort of confidence that you need in a young player coming into this team. But Braden Gardner's, all the confidence is here with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to go down to the shop, mate, and buy 2 tickets to that gun show of his.
Uh.
Can they pick up another wicket? Oh, it's a great piece of bowling, and yeah, really well called by Armitage through there as well. It's an easy single.
Well, I would, but I've already bought 2 tickets to Ben Saunders' gun show, so I think maybe you need to buy tickets for me. It's going to be a very expensive night ahead. -2 off that first over. Fantastic. It's probably the best over I've seen Gardner bowl all series, to be honest. I mean, 6 just on the money. -2 after 1. Butler's going to finish up here.
Yeah, good set by Braden. I mean, I think the MO for the New Zealand unit here really is they just off those strike bowls, pick up that 1 wicket the over, and in between that it's dots and ones and dots, you know, and they feel like they're not going anywhere. And when those wickets come, it's just damage everywhere. And that's got to be the game plan. It's going to be really interesting here if Butler gets into that fuller length where he's just so lethal. So let's just put the game in context here as well. You were talking about scores for the last partnership to chase, etc. You're quite right. I think if 30's left to score, there's no doubt that Dennis and Rice are the 2 guys who can go out and grab that most days of the week. So the Kiwi team here really have a massive challenge to keep that score around 55. There's another half chance there, gone begging. Parrott, fantastic presence up front there at 1 back. Cover.
Yeah. Nice ball. Like to see.
Look at the lengths.
Yep. He's got him! Oh, he's like the sneaker. Butler's asked to let him know it too. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bryce Fellows at receiver. Will we get a replay? Thanks to BeLive to check that out. Going for the sneak. It was on for sure. Just sloppy work there at the back. A wild throw, and look at that flick from Fellows. An agile man. And that
how big is the moment of that in the context of this test?
Huge.
We keep the New Zealand team keep Australia at that 55 total. That puts a huge amount of pressure on Rice and Dennis closing. It's going to be really interesting now if Davies brings Joel in and bowls him in this partnership rather than keeping him to the last.
Yep.
He's really the only option for some runs for Australia, I believe.
Nice shot. So just reset straight away. 2 on the leg side.
Let me just clarify my comment there. Easier options. I don't mean to say that Australia can't get runs off the other bowlers. It's just that I think Dion, just where he's at the moment, as we saw in that first over, not quite hitting his lengths where he probably wanted.
Is what you're saying. He could go for 15 or he could go for none, really. He could pick up a wicket, like 2 wickets like he did in the first 2.
Yeah.
Or if he loses his radar, he could go for 5 or 7. And these 2 fellas will take him on.
Yeah, not surprised here to see him bowl low because the damage has been done in this partnership already. -1 with 2 overs left. Even if Dion was to go for 7 or 8 here, you know, they can finish strong and in the 12th.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
still set up a harder chase for 2 quality bats in Rice and Dennis.
Here comes Joel. How important is this over going to be in the context of the match? Yeah, nice shot. Too easy.
Yeah, I like that from Jared too. That was probably there to hit, but he's just gone, nah, no nonsense cricket.
Yep.
Take the 2, thank you very much, and we're going to build our score up. Like it. Much better length from Dion there. That's where you want to be. A little bit fuller, get them drawing forward. have the confidence to toss it up there.
Nice fielding by
Nice.
Davies.
Yeah, again, Korean, there's
Yep.
a little half chances there. Well done by Davies up front. Pair it in there looking for the secondary. Again, another good ball by Dion.
Oh, yeah. Great bowl, that one going the other way. Just changed his bat up early. It did Armitage.
Yep, so
And got third ball.
Dion definitely has the ability to go leg spinner and then the left arm googly as well.
Just hadn't seen it from him, man. That was a perfect illustration.
Oh, it's confidence.
Oh, jeez.
It's confidence. He's charged that too.
Ah, yeah, he's gutted really,
Wow.
as he should be.
Getting away with that one.
Yeah.
Should have been a no ball, but he's charged it.
Yep. He
Good
knows-
call by Adam Williams.
Yep, good call by the and Armitage knows it. Bit of a grimace. Nice shot. Great shot, Luke
Great shot,
Ryan.
Luke Ryan.
Great shot, Luke Ryan. Just waited on it. This one skidded on, and he's put that into the springs on the leg side net. Dion Joel, a good set for him, 2 for 3. And like you said, around 7 or 8, that one went for 9. And 40 now needed off the last 5. So how vital is this going to be? And Bryce Fellows is going to finish up. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, no, like this option as well with Bryce. They'll just be looking for that one out. If they don't get it, it's dots and ones. Make it really hard for these guys to build up, get 6 or 7 off the over. So yeah, like it from Victor Davies, leading his charges really well, making really good sound selections in his bowling lineup.
Oh, called good. Called good. Yep, good. I think it's just because it tailed just after it left him. And dot ball there for Fellows to start. But that's exactly the area he wants to work in. Fine first over from him. Oh, nice delivery. That is...
Yeah, so expect the leg
Yeah.
spinner here. Going away from the bat. And yeah, Fellows just moving Perrott up the pitch to go squarer, up more towards point. He's looking for that leg spinner to go away from the right-hander.
Looking for that leg cutter, but doesn't find the right...
Short, just
Yep,
a touch
too
short on him.
and just came out of the hand, not as well as he would have liked, and just on a length. Too easy there for Ryan. He's looking to say, look for the end dipper. I think it'll be it again. And hits it very hard as Armitage, and through for the single for 2. They've made double digits, and this is a pretty good comeback, to be fair, by this pair after languishing in the negative so much of the innings. So 52, probably in that mark we were thinking 36 now, 2 to play.
Interesting description, the in-dipper. Is that a new delivery?
You know what I mean. In dipper. First patented by A. Kawaja. Copyright by Coleman. In swinger.
Oh, hitting flat too. Yeah, creating chances, Chicken. Yeah, that's a really good set. Fantastic set. Didn't get the wicket, but it was dots and ones. And look at the scoreboard with 52.
That's the best I've seen Fellows bowl this series.
Yeah, fantastic 2 sets from him. And yeah, they had to stomach a lot of pressure, those 2 bats, Armitage and Ryan. Strap yourselves in, people, because you've got 2 high-quality bats coming out to bat for Australia to close up the game. It's the last game of this whole Trans-Tasman series for 2019, and I expect that Australia will just be saying to themselves that the deeper they take this game, they'll feel like that they've got a real opportunity to take it away.
So man of the moment, Mark Rice, made 16 on the bat last year and has sat this one out. But he's a class act. Typically gone with the Flores-Perkins combination to close out. Of course, Flores not playing this one. And Rice are typically a closer for WA. So hits the ball nice and clean. I don't think it'll be two-phased. This is probably a few more than I thought, but I would definitely say they're in with a chance. And who have they got to line up? Braden Gardner, Perrott, Hindman, and Davies.
Yeah, look, you know, we've been pumping up these batters, but they're going to have to play really well. 36 to win a test match.
Yeah.
Any test match, any conditions. 36 closing is tough going. 6 ball overs.
Yeah.
You can't really put a foot wrong. So, you know, while we're pumping them up and saying how highly talented
100%.
they are, which they are, they can't afford to make a mistake here. And, you know, New Zealand will be feeling if they get 1 or 2 outs this partnership, that'll be it. Great start by Gardner again. And that had a bit of heat on it.
That did.
Had a bit of heat. He's fired up, isn't he?
That had a bit of heat on the bat too. Oh, great running too. Oh, Rice and Dennis in sync. Great shot from Dennis. Just missed his length rather, did Gardner.
Yeah, and hope Braden's okay here. He's bumped himself into the padded pole. So health and safety regulations, don't worry, that's fine. It's all completely signed off. Looks like he's okay, great. And not to take away from Dennis's shot there. Oh my God, how good was it?
Oh yeah, I know, exactly.
He's gone across him again. So I think we're working out here with Dennis that we need to be going across. The New Zealand boys want to be going across him a little bit to the top of off stump. As soon as you go into Dennis's strength and top of leg, top of middle, he's just too good there. And with the pace of Gardner, that won't worry him.
Oh yes, very nice.
That is 2 really quick deliveries across Dennis. He's played late on those.
So what do you think here? Continue what's going on? Yeah, nothing to change, right? Beat him for pace. And he doesn't.
Yeah, it's just too easy for Dennis in there. He's just high quality. You're playing to the areas where he really likes the ball to go, into middle and leg.
Well, there were 3 dots. The 2 that have gone onto leg have gone for 7. So this one, I can't expect that you shouldn't do anything different here than go outside off.
Rice's first delivery.
Oh, wow, ripper. That's what he's about too, the one that tails in late.
Rice smiled by
Fantastic
Mark
spell.
Rice. He knows that was a good pill. But we haven't got the wicket there, New Zealand, that they were looking for. So they've survived that Braden Gardner over with
7 runs.
25 dots and the 5 in the 2. Amazing shot. I mean, in between going past on off stump from Braden Gardner at high pace.
Yep.
And what a quality shot that Rhys Dennis has played. We sort of it got taken away from us to talk about it too much. Unbelievable. Great cricket.
So here comes Stacey Hyman to finish his right arm over the wicket. 28 needed off the last 3 overs. Nice ball from Hyman into the kneecap. 1 single. He's got Davies and Joel there on leg.
And Dennis just making a bit of a mess out of that, not holding his balance. And fielding change is just being made here. So Davies moving over to traditional point on the offside.
Great work, top work, and it's gone. Huge wicket. That's the one New Zealand needed. Guy Coleman calls it. The full one outside off. Perfect take by Butler, rather, as keeper. Fellas does the rest at receiver, and that is a top process for third ball, Colesley.
Yep, for any of you young guys out there wanting to learn how to bowl on a third delivery, you can't get much better than that. That is an amazing piece of execution under high pressure. 1 more wicket, I think the Kiwis will feel like they've got this.
Nice work.
And even now, both Dennis and Rice will feel like they've got to look for a delivery to go. So it means that they've got to change their game plan a little bit.
Yep.
So it'll be really interesting to see that if they're prepared to still take this deep into the 15th, 16th over. See if they pull the trigger.
Nice shot, too short, goes away from the game plan, and Dennis pulls it into leg. He's got comfortable on the leg side, so 2 more for him, 31. Takes me back to the first game when Flores and Perkins were chasing 28. I think about 25 in the last pair, they got it. So hopefully New Zealand have learned from that. Down leg side, strays does Hindman. So back to parity after that wicket.
The Kiwis in this back 8, in this back sets, have been really disciplined on their lines. I don't think I can remember maybe 1 or 2 wides, but yeah, they don't want to creep down that.
No, definitely not.
Not down that road.
Oh,
And
Rice.
Rice pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
He's really lined that up, isn't he?
Oh, he's hit the cover off it, has he what? As Hindman finishes his work for the night. 2 for -1, and
Yep, so 28 runs is required off the last 2 overs. Perrott, who has been absolutely outstanding with the ball this whole series, but looking at tailing it into the knees of both bats with his in-dippers, Ahmed. For everyone else in the world who plays cricket, they're the in-swingers, of course.
I've patented some new balls since I started playing indoor cricket. Clearly not as effective because I'm sitting here and I'm not in there. But I'll take the light banter there, Colsley. Corey Perrott with his in swingers.
Yeah, just missing the window. So Rice, nice call there, nice and early.
Nice shot. What's the game plan here? He's got to go. They've got to go to the back at least once in this over minimum, and save. Oh, look, it's
well.
it's
They
tough.
know
It's tough.
they've got the slower bowler strike
Yeah.
weapon of
Yeah.
Victor Davies to bowl the last over, but they'll feel like perhaps if again they just take this game deep. We're in one of the games, one of the sports in the world that have these just unknowns that can happen and just turn a game within minutes and within seconds. And this could be one of those situations. I think these Aussie guys are experienced enough to know that they take this game as deep as they can. They'll have a real opportunity still. Kiwis just hunting for that one out. One out, I think this game's going to be pulled away from the Aussie boys. And that ain't going to get you it.
So, couple of sort of lapses here from the bowling, just trying a bit too hard to swing it into Rice with 2 on leg. 21 needed now, needed off 8 balls. Seems to be New Zealand's in hand. Until that shot, good shot from Rice, 2 more. Yep, squeezes it inside edge for 2 on the leg side. 19 needed off 7.
Yeah, a hit there, and I think we're probably going to see that run out. Rice, hopefully he's okay. He's just he's got face right into the turf on the dive. So, yeah, hopefully he's okay.
That's nasty.
Yeah. Facial graze.
And 2 for Dearness. And there's a bit of traffic running through here. Now Garden is the one who's gone down. Hopefully he's okay. Perrott finishes his work, none for 19 off 2. Australia are 71 after 15. The pairs on 19. 17 off the last over. Look, if I was saying this is sort of under 22s, I think, you know, this sort of thing could happen, but this is going to be hard. And obviously with your man, Victor Davies, coming into the attack, who I believe has probably promised you some sort of free training program in response for the promotion.
He's too busy training himself.
Yeah, I get that. He's probably gained at least 500 Instagram followers during this game alone.
I've never heard so many young female fans asking a New Zealand captain to take his shirt off all the time.
Yeah, doesn't happen so much for us.
The Adonis.
No.
Matt Henderson will be gutted I said that.
Yeah, he will be. Hendo. All right.
Apologies to all our global listeners, a bit of local humour going on here.
So, Davies, 2 on leg. Joel and Fellows has got Perrott on off. Gardner's on the line. Butler at receive. He's coming over the wicket. And 2 runs to start for Dennis on the cover. 15 now needed off 5 balls.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what Davies does with his line fielders here. Is he going to pull them back, just protect a little bit more? We see Dion Joel there at leg side, just a little bit straighter than normal. Perrott also a little bit straighter. just trying to close up that visual
Yep.
window on Mark Rice.
That's it. It's over. It's over. That surely must be it. And he's hit it straight to Gardner, who, calm under pressure, just lobs it through to Butler, and this one's over as we get out the replay thanks to B Live, trying to find the backers Rice as he had to, and very calm under pressure with New Zealand, and surely that must be the game now. 20 needed off 4 balls. And they're hitting each other, really. That's not out. Unfortunately, yeah, lets out a bit of a yell there. Just unhappy with himself, Rice. I guess the problem is not capable of hitting the back, but when he has, he's been just finding the field and the deflections. Yeah, that's the difference between a 5 and a 1. It can be huge if it happens 2 or 3 times over. It's got him! And Gardner, he was cow deep on leg. Dennis clipped it to the leg side net. We'll get the replay to check that out.
Well,
that's worth seeing twice.
That's definitely out, and Dennis is disappointed. I think he's actually looked at his team because he hasn't dived. Appreciate that, you know, the series is done. This game's pretty much done as well. You know, the Aussies don't like to lose. They don't want to know that they've attempted to go for the whole game. And I think actually Dennis has pulled up there. Yeah, he looks like he's actually just pulled up with a hammy or something.
So Davies has burgled a couple of wickets here at the death. And New Zealand are going to get up. Just joking, Vic. That's very, very well done. Good under pressure. That is the game. Well, this story is far from over, I can tell you that, Guy Coleman. New Zealand have come away with the spoils in this game. Davies 2 for 4. The pair scores 12. Rice 12. Dennis 0. And New Zealand have beaten Australia in the 5th test, 87-64. Just to recap, New Zealand 44, 6, 13 and 24 made 87. They've defeated Australia 42, 10 and 12 for 64. They've won by 23 runs. Australia take the series, but they only take it by 3-2. Guy Coleman.
Well, I mean, an amazing finish here. The Kiwi guys will feel like that's justice. A 3-2 loss in the series. Congratulations, Australia, again. I think they have played the better cricket. Both sides just so even throughout the whole series. Again, I go back to yesterday's performance is just high quality of cricket. Some of the best test cricket I've ever seen and been a part of. And the Kiwi guys will feel like they've just got a little bit of justice there. If we look longer term, and I know that both of these camps have sort of got in the back of their minds a set up for the World Cup in 2 years' time. They're trying to find out more about players and where they're at. And I think if you talk to both coaches, I think they'll be fairly happy that they understand what their players can bring. Brenton Bryan in that game, like a fantastic selection make-up for his unit where he's dropped 3 of his best players because he wants to understand under high-quality, high-pressure cricket what those other players can do in the squad without their leadership group. How do they respond? A lot of them stood up and said, hey, I'm here and I'm going to be able to perform at this level whether those guys are around or not. And they took the mantle. The Perkins brothers were, 2 of those guys who did that. And congratulations to them. So, yeah, I think overall just a high-quality Trans-Tasman series, a lot of feeling in it. Congratulations to both teams. I hope everyone really enjoyed the coverage.
Yeah, thank you. The 20 games are done, but again, we're looking very much forward to the future. Just to recap, the Australian under-22 girls took the series 4-1. The Australian under-22 boys took the series 3-2. The Australian Open women took the series 3-2 in the tie game today, and the Australian Open men also 3-2. So it has been a very, very fascinating series. Look forward, I think, just need a bit of time to probably breathe, Guy, and just sort of give ourselves a few days to sort of reflect on this going forward. But again, hey, mate, it is first time us working together. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thanks very much for your comments, for your insight. Good luck with the podcast, and hopefully hear more from you in the future.
Yeah, so we've nailed down the name of the podcast, Inside Indoor Cricket.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's a copyright for me. Go
Inside
to-
Indoor,
yeah,
Inside
yeah,
Indoor podcast.
Inside Indoor, perfect.
So check that out. It's I haven't got a release date just yet, but it won't be too far away. We're going to build up some episodes. I've got a couple in the can already. There's Australia just celebrating now. Congratulations to them winning the series. So check out the Inside Indoor podcast soon to come.
Cool, excellent. Thank you very much, Guy Coleman. Look forward to that 2019 Trans-Tasman Series, proudly brought to you by SMG, Burley, Seacom, and Inflatable World. We're done and dusted. We'll see you very soon. For Guy Coleman and Ahmed Khwaja signing off. Thanks very much for your company. Good evening.